still won't break. Running down my face, I embrace all the love that lies around me. I feel no shame, nothing to erase. I would change a single day that lies before
Good afternoon. Welcome to Akwaaba Yoga. Today's Sunday, the 30th of August. Hope everyone is doing well. We had a week off last week. I've neglected my yoga a little bit, if I'm honest. So my back is pretty dodgy. Hence why I thought we'd do a back exercise today, a back stretch. If you haven't joined in before, my name's Mark. Have a towel handy, also have some water. It's your first time practicing. Do take it easy and go at your own pace. Welcome to everyone that's tuning in. I see Beast here and D-Man. Holla to yourself and Monica. But yeah, thanks for joining in. We're going to get straight into it. Let me just pause the music all together. Cool, so we're going to start in child's pose. So let's put our water to one side, drop your towel. Let's all come down to the knees. So put your knees apart, put your feet together. And slowly start to bring your bum towards your heels. Just get comfortable there and slowly start to walk your hands forward as you bring your torso down towards the mat. Your head might not reach. If you've got a book or a block, you might want to put your head on the block. Otherwise, just come all the way down to the mat into child's pose. I'm going to go through a energizing flow to really heat up the body to start with. So just take this next couple of seconds, 30 seconds to a minute, just to come to stillness. Just come to your natural breath. So just breathe in and out without any sort of forced breath. You want your palms on the mat. Relax your shoulders. Again, your bum might not touch your heels. It's all good. Just let your hips naturally start relaxing as we stay here. As we stay, you start to feel your hips gently open up. Just keep your eyes closed and your forehead on the mat. Maybe take note of your heart beating here. If you are hunched up in your shoulders, just let them relax. Slowly start to take your breath into your shoulders. So if you breathe in, feel as if you're taking your breath directly into your trapezius muscles, into those muscles that sit just above and between your shoulder blades. Just take your breath there. And relax. And next breath in, maybe take your breath into your middle back. Just feel the oxygenating the muscles that surround your middle back, your spine. Relax and relax. And final breath, maybe take the breath this time to your lower back. The muscles that sit just above your sacrum. Really feel as if you're bringing fuel and energy to your muscles there, and relax. Your head still on the mat and your arms straight forward. Just start to come up onto your fingertips. So as you come to your fingertips, your elbows will just lift off the mat. So it's almost as if you're clawing the mat and slowly just using your fingertips, start to walk your fingertips over towards the left-hand side of your mat. So your upper left diagonal, just walk them over until they won't go any further. And then relax your palms back down. And then you just bring them stretch to the right side of your body. Your intercostal muscles just there. Maybe see if you can just lift your right hand up and place it on top of your left hand.
to bring a bit more of a stretch to your right hand side of your body. And just slowly start to walk your fingertips back towards the center. And then just take the other side. So this time walk your fingertips over towards the upper right diagonal until they won't get any further. And then relax your palms down. This time you're bringing a stretch to the left side of your body. Again, just use your breath and take your breath to the muscles down your left side of your body. Take your muscles in and out of your left ribs. See if you can again just walk your left hand a bit further over so it sits just on top of your right hand. And then release the arm down. And stay for a couple more breaths. See if you can maybe just sit your bum any more further back into your heels. And then relax. Just walk your hands back towards center. Just roll over your forehead. Just give your head a gentle massage, your forehead. On the next inhale, let's come up onto our hands and our knees. And just as we start to come into our tabletop. So you want everything stacked. Your hands are stacked underneath your shoulders. Your knees are stacked underneath your hips. You'll start to just come to cat and cow. So just start to bring some movement to the back. So barrel or the belly down. Take your gaze up towards the front diagonal. On the inhale and on the exhale, push your hands into the mat as you take your gaze to your navel. Drawing your belly towards the spine. And let's reverse it. Again, just undulate the body down. Take your gaze up towards the front diagonal. And on the exhale, push into the mat again. Great space in between your shoulder blades. And take your gaze to your navel. Let's go for one more. Inhale. To draw your gaze up. Really accentuate your bum into the air. And then exhale. Again, draw your belly in. Push into the mat. And look at your navel. Create space between your shoulder blades. And for the next 10 or 15 seconds, just come into a sense of freedom of movement. So just freestyle. Maybe we'll take a figure of 8. Movement with the hips. Maybe you want to just move the hips from left to right. If you find any position that just feels nice as you hold a stretch, just take it there and hold it. It's really freestyle. Give yourself the opportunity to just come to free movement. Maybe want to wind up the shoulders. First do the left side. Take it one way and then take it the other. And then switch sides. I'm taking my right side now. Going back. Just bringing movement into my upper back and my shoulder. And then come back into stillness in your tabletop. Let's go for one more cat and cow. So inhale again, barrel the belly down, put your bum to the sky, take your gaze up to the front diagonal. On the next exhale, draw your belly in, push your hands to the mat, take your gaze to your belly, to your navel. Then relax. Relax in neutral. Start to curl the toes under. And push up into a first downward facing dog. So we're coming into the inverted V. Again, as you know how to do by now. Just bring some movement into the legs. Maybe walking them out left to right. Feel as if you've got balance between your hands and your feet. Take a deep inhale in through the nose. And breathe out through the mouth. Let it all out, release. Let's go for one more. Inhale. And exhale. There's no judgment. Start to relax the shoulders. Start to roll the elbows in. So you create more space in between your shoulder blades. See if you can energetically draw your heels any more close towards the mat. You gaze to look towards the center point at the back of your mat, maybe in between your feet.
On the next breath in, let's come up onto our tiptoes. Start to slowly tiptoe forward, keeping your hands where they are. Really engage the core here. When you come any further, just take one big step and let's all meet at the front of our mats. So we're heavy again with the head and the arms. And just start to gently sway from left to right. Just bring a slight bend to both knees. Just feel nice and heavy. Maybe take opposite arms to opposite elbows. From here, let's take both hands and just interlace our hands behind our back so it sits just above the sacrum. On the inhale, let's take a gentle gaze up. On the exhale, start to seesaw down, lifting your hands interlaced up off the sacrum and bend forward. Again, keep a slight bend in the knees if it feels good. Just start to enjoy the stretch you're giving to your shoulders here. Take a deep inhale in and exhale through the nose. We'll now come to Ujjayi breath. Inhale in, exhale out. When there's no judgment, there's no one watching. Inhale in, and on the exhale, start to bring the arms back towards the sacrum, and then release the arms down towards the mat. And again, nice and heavy. And slowly start to roll up one vertebra at a time. Just keep the head and the arms heavy. Really bring concentration and awareness to your back. When you come to the top, let your head be the last to roll up. Just roll the shoulders back. Just stand at the top of our mat into Tadasana pose. So your palms of your hands are facing forward. Your feet are shoulder distance apart. Close your eyes. Stand nice and tall, draw in your belly. Take a deep inhale in through the nose. And relax as the breath leaves the nose. So really focusing on Ujjayi breathing now. That's going to help us as we flow for the next few minutes. From one pose to another, inhale in and exhale. Just blink open your eyes if your eyes are closed. Just bring your feet together so your big toes touch. Just inhale to draw the hands up towards the ceiling. And on exhale, bring your hands in prayer to your chest. Enjoy the class. On the inhale, draw up with the hands. On the exhale, bend from the hip as we come all the way down to Uttanasana. Inhale, take a halfway lift, hands to the shins, lengthen out through the arms. And on exhale, bring the hands down to the mat, step the left foot back, step the right foot back as we come into our first plank. Let's roll forward, back and forth to the toes, on the tips of the toes. For the first one, let's roll forwards into the toes and drop our knees. Let's all drop our knees together. And on the next breath, start to come all the way down to the mat. Uncurl the back toes. Let's take the first cobra. So our elbows are sitting just underneath our shoulder blades. Use the grip of our hands to start to pull our bodies up off the mat, and through the elbows, and through the arms. Maybe lift your knees up off the mat. Hold it for one breath. And relax your head back down towards the floor. Let's go for two more. Again, inhale to draw up through the body. Exhale to release down. And again, inhale to draw up. Exhale to release down. On the next breath, let's place our hands underneath our shoulders. Let's push up into upward facing dog this time. And on the exhale, push back into downward facing dog. Just come back into your inverted V. We're here just for just 2 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. On the inhale, really draw in your belly, your lower abs, your lower abdomen. Engage your core. Just to bring, release tension and stress in the lower back. On the next breath in, let's come up onto the tiptoes. Let's jump or step forward towards the front of the mat. So on the inhale, let's come up for a halfway lift. Exhale to come all the way down. Inhale to draw your hands all the way up to the ceiling. Exhale, take your hands into prayer to the center of the chest. On the inhale, take your hands all the way up to the ceiling. Exhale, bend from the hips as you come all the way down. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, place your hands in front of the mat. Step back with the left foot, step back with the right foot. Again, just rock forwards on the toes. On the next rock forwards, either drop your knees or come straight down to a low plank. Bending through the arms, your elbows at right angle. Let's push straight up into an upward facing dog. And on the exhale, push back into a down facing dog. Leave just 2 breaths. Again, inhale, exhale. Really feel your ribs expanding as you inhale and exhale, release the breath. On next breath in, let's come up to the tiptoes. Again, let's jump or step towards the front of the mat. You know where we're going first with a halfway lift. Lengthen out through the spine, and on the exhale, release the head and the torso down. On our next breath in, let's take the hands all the way up to the ceiling. Drawing in the belly, and the exhale, come all the way straight down. Take your prayer all the way through the bed, through the body, bend from the hips. Let's take a halfway lift here. Roll back the shoulders, take your gaze beyond the front of the mat. On the exhale, place your hands down, step back with the left foot, step back with the right foot. Let's all meet in high plank. On the next rock forwards, again, if you need to, whether it's calling, drop the knees. Otherwise, just come all the way down to a low plank. And then push up into an upward facing dog. And push back into a down facing dog. On the next breath in, let's raise that right leg so it sits parallel with our mat. On the next breath in, let's go knee to nose. Start to draw the knee all the way through the body so you can touch your knee to your nose, and then take it back and lengthen that through the right leg. Let's see if we can go again. Knee to nose, and take it back. We're going for one more. So inhale to draw your knee all the way in. Let your knee touch your nose, and then step your leg all the way through so you come up into warrior one. So drop your left heel to the mat. Take your left foot, say pointing out towards 10 o'clock. You're a slight bend in that right knee. And when you're nice and stable, you start to draw the arms up to the ceiling. Again, start to engage through your lower abs to help protect your lower back. You're not dumping all the way down. Nice and tall and strong for your torso. Take one more breath in. And then take your hands all the way down to the front of the mat. Step the right foot back to join the left. As we're meeting high plank. Rock forward into the toes. All together, let's come down to the low plank. Let's push up into an upward facing dog. And on the exhale, we're pushing back into a downward facing dog. Let's take the other side. On the next breath in, lift that left leg so it's parallel with the mat. And on the breath in, we'll go knee to nose. Breathe out as you lengthen out through that left leg. On the next breath in, knee to nose. Let's go for one more. Take the leg all the way back. Really feel as if you're pushing towards the back of the room. On the next breath in, then knee to nose. We'll hold it for one breath. Then we're stepping that left foot all the way through, placing it just inside that left hand. Come to warrior one leg, so drop that right heel to the mat. Your right foot's pointing out towards 2 o'clock. Feel nice and grounded and supported by the floor. Got a slight bend at the left foot. Be nice and grounded and stable. Start to lift those arms up towards the ceiling. Really breathe beyond your fingers here. Nice and tall for your torso. Feel as if your hips are facing forward. As you face your hips a bit more forward, you'll really start to feel that stretch through that right hip flexor. With one more breath, come nice and tall. And on the next breath, let's bring our hands all the way to the front of the mat. Step back the left foot as we all meet in high plank. Let's rock forwards. On the next breath, let's come all the way down to a low plank. And then push up into our upward facing dog. Maybe take your knees up off the mat. And curl the toes under as we come back to our downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in and exhale out. Inhale in and exhale out. On your next breath in, let's again raise that right leg up so it's parallel to the mat. This time taking it all the way through straight to our warrior one legs. So bring that right foot so it sits just inside of that right hand. Drop that left heel to the mat. As you feel nice and grounded, start to lift up the torso from your legs. Take your arms up towards the ceiling. As you take the full expression of warrior one. You're nice and tall for your torso. Take a deep breath in. And on the exhale, take the arms out to warrior two. So your right arm goes forward, your left arm goes back. Breathe in and breathe out. On the next breath, let's flip that right palm. Start to seesaw the arms. So your right arm goes all the way up to the ceiling. Take that left hand to the left hip. Try and maintain the integrity of your legs here. You're not flopping out to the side. Take your gaze up to the right hand, or even take your gaze down towards the mat. And you can one more breath. And on the exhale, you can take a side angle lunge, taking that right elbow so it sits just inside of your right thigh. Avoid the knee if you can. And start to open up through your body towards the right hand side, taking the left hand up to the ceiling. If you want to work the abs a bit more, maybe take the right hand or the right arm so you can lift it up off the knee, off the thigh, and point it forward. So it feels as if you're holding to this giant beach ball. On the next breath in, let's come all the way back up to warrior two. Let's cartwheel the hands down towards the front of the mat. Step back with that right foot to meet your left foot at the back of the mat. Again, rock forwards and back in your toes. On the inhale, rock forwards. Hold it there for 1, for 2, for 3. Let's start to bend through the elbows and hold it there for 1, for 2, for 3. Let's push back up into a high plank. And hold it there for 1, 2, for 3. This time we take the full vinyasa to chaturanga, so come all the way down to a low plank and push up into our upward facing dog. A slight bend into the elbows. Maybe take your knees up off the mat. And on the exhale, we're going to push back to downward facing dog. From here, see if your heels if you've created any more room, any more space in your calf muscles. And if you've got any more room to bring your heels just energetically a bit more closer towards the mat. On the next breath in, let's take the opposite side. Let's lift that left leg so it's parallel with the floor. On the breath in, we'll go knee to nose. Slowly take the knee all the way through. And let's see if you can step that left foot all the way through so it sits just inside that left hand. Drop your right heel to the mat as you come to warrior one legs. Once you feel nice and grounded, start to lift the torso up off the left thigh. Get engaged through your lower abdomen. And start to draw your arms up towards the sky. Your arms at either side of your ears. You're nice and tall for your torso. Take a deep breath in. On the next exhale, let's come to warrior two. Let's take your right arm back this time, and your left arm is forward. Let's have a look at your right hand, see if it's drooping. Take your gaze back towards your left hand. Just find your drishti, your focal point. On the next breath, let's flip that left palm over. Let's start to seesaw. Take your right hand towards your right hip. Your left hand's going up towards the ceiling. You're nice and straight, nice and tall and proud for your upper body. You're getting a nice stretch through that left hand side. Your intercostal muscles there. And on the next breath, this time taking side angle lunge on the other side. So take the left elbow and sit it just inside of your left thigh. And use the resistance just to start to open up the body to the left hand side, to the right side, sorry, of the room. Your right arm's going up towards the ceiling. Take your gaze up towards your right hand, or maybe take your gaze down towards the mat. Again, use the resistance just to feel a nice stretch from your left hip flexor. And if it's there for you, from level up, start to lift the left arm up off the thigh and take it straight forward. Just give yourself the impressions if you're holding to a nice, large beach ball for two, for one. Let's come back up into warrior two, left arm forward, right arm back. And let's cartwheel the hands all the way down again towards the front of the mat. Let's take the left foot to join the right foot at the back of the mat. You're high on your toes. You're getting forwards and back. Really engage through your abdomen. Your neck rock, on your neck rock forward. Start to bend through the elbows. So you come to low plank and hold it there for 3, 2, for 1. Let's see if you can push back up into a high plank for 3, for 2, for 1. And slowly come down through our chaturanga, down to low plank. Uncurl the back toes as you come to our upward facing dog. And on exhale, let's push back to our downward facing dog. We're here for 3 breaths. Just take a deep inhale in and exhale. As you inhale, so you can create any more room and your space in your back by lengthening out your back any further. Let's take one more breath in and breathe it out. Again, this time we're going to take our right leg and take it parallel to the mat. And this time I'm going to take it all the way forward, back into warrior one legs again. Again, drop your left heel. Once you're nice and grounded, let's come all the way up. Maintain that bend through that right knee. Take your arms up towards the ceiling. Just really maintain the integrity of that back leg so it's nice and straight. On the next breath in, let's come out and open to warrior two. So your right hand is forward, your left arm is back. Again, nice and tall through your torso. Let's lift that right palm. Come to reverse warrior for one breath. And then release as we come straight to side angle lunge. Take your right elbow, sit it inside of your right thigh. As you open up to the left hand side. Take a deep breath in. On the exhale, let's come back up to warrior two. On the next breath, let's take both hands behind our back as we prepare for humble warrior. When you draw your grip away from your lower sacrum, from your bum, shine your heart up towards the ceiling, And on the exhale, start to lean with the chest towards the front left diagonal as you come down and sit your chest just inside of your right thigh. And if it's there for you, see if you can lift your arms up off your sacrum, up and over as you create space in your spine and your upper back as we come to the full expression of the pose of Humble Warrior. Just see if you can prevent your right hip from flaring out to the side. Again, just try and maintain the integrity of the pose here. For just 2 more breaths. Should also be feeling a nice stretch for your right hamstring or your right hip flexor. On your next breath in, let's start to seesaw back up. Let's take the arms back towards the lower sacrum, showing your chest up towards the ceiling again. Let's come back into Warrior 2 arms. So your right arm goes forward, your left arm goes back. Let's flip the right palm over and come into a reverse warrior for 1 breath. And on the exhale, let's cut all the hands down. Let's all meet in high plank. So let's step that right foot back, drop forwards and back on the toes. On your next foot forwards. Let's all come down to a low plank. Push up into our upward facing dog. Maybe take a gaze over your right shoulder towards your right foot and come back to center. And let's switch it. So take a gaze over your left shoulder towards your left foot and come back towards center. Curl the toes under and let's all meet in downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in and release. Let's do that again on the other side. So I'm going to lift our left leg so it's parallel with the mat. Let's draw the leg and the knee all the way forward so your knee meets your nose. Hold it there for 1 breath. And step your left foot all the way forward as we come into our Warrior 1 legs. So you drop your right heel. Keep that bend in that left knee. Your right leg is straight. Once you're nice and stable, start to lift up off the leg and draw the arms all the way up to the ceiling as we come to the full expression of Warrior 1. Getting nice and tall for your torso. Let's take 1 more breath. And on the next breath out, let's come to Warrior 2 arms. So you want to walk that left foot a bit more into the center. So you've got a bit more stability. You're taking your right arm back, your left arm forwards. Find your drishti point, your focal point. Flip that left palm over and it's coming to reverse warrior. So I'm taking my right hand to my right hip to create a bit more room to stretch over. Done it a few times now, so there should be a bit more room there. And start to cartwheel over as we come to side angle lunge. So that left elbow sits inside of that left thigh. Use resistance just to open up towards the right side of the room. Taking that right hand towards the ceiling. Take your gaze up or take your gaze down towards the mat. Again, no cheating here. Really use the resistance to find a bit more room in your hips and open up through your shoulders. On the next breath, let's come back up into Warrior 2. So left arm forward, and then right arm goes back. Let's take our interlace, so our hands are coming interlaced behind our back, our lower back here. Start to lengthen that through the arms. As you take your grip away from your bum, and you shine your heart up towards the ceiling on the inhale, and on the exhale, start to lean the body forward, leading from the chest. You aim for the front diagonal, the front right diagonal. Your chest sits just inside of your left thigh. If it's there for you, start to lift your arms, your interlace up off your lower back as you create a bit more room in your chest and your upper back. Give it 2 more breaths. You're nice and strong through the legs here. One more breath. And on the exhale, start to seesaw back up. So really engage the abs to draw you back up, shine your height up to the ceiling, and come back into warrior two arms. So right arm goes back, left arm goes forwards, flip that left palm over. Let's take a reverse warrior. Draw that left hand up towards the ceiling. You can see you've got a bit more room to go a bit further over. And cartwheel your hands all the way down towards the front of the mat. I'm going to step the left foot all the way back, straight on the right. Together we're going to meet in high plank. Walk forwards and back on the toes. When your neck rocks forward, just come all together down to low plank. Let's push up into our upward facing dog. Again from here, let's take our gaze over towards the left, over the left shoulder. See if we can look over towards our left foot. Let's come back towards center. This time take the gaze over the right shoulder, towards the right foot. Come back towards center. Draw the shoulders back. And on the exhale, push up into our downward facing dog. Well done, guys. Almost there. We're going to go through one more sequence, incorporating all of the above. And just one more extra pose in there. So again, you know by now what to do. We're going to start running with the right leg up. So let's parallel the mat. Let's go knee to nose. And then drop your right leg, your right foot, I should say. So it sits inside of the right hand. You come to warrior one legs. Let's lift the torso up. Let's take our arms up towards the ceiling. On the next breath in, let's take warrior two arms. So right arm goes forward, left arm goes back. Let's flip that right hand over. Just come to our reverse warrior. Come up and over for one breath. And then now let's take side angle lunge. So your right elbow goes inside of your right thigh. Let's open up towards the left side of the room. Again, really maintaining the integrity of the legs here. Use the resistance to see if you've got any more space to open up. And let's all come back up into warrior two arms. Right arm goes forward, left arm goes back. Let's take the interlace behind our backs. On the inhale, start to take the interlace away from our bum as we shine our heart up to the ceiling. And on the exhale, remember to keep that bend in that right knee. Your left leg is nice and straight. Let's take the chest towards the front diagonal. If it's there for you, lift your arms up off your bum. Maintaining the interlace. Here for just 2 breaths. One more breath. And next breath in. Let's start to seesaw back up. It's all meeting warrior two. So right arms go forward, your left arm goes back. Let's all come back into warrior one. Take the arms up towards the ceiling. And this time, we're going to come to cactus arms. So we're going to just drop our elbows so they're in line with our shoulders. Our palms are facing forwards. On the next breath in, start to lean back and shine the heart up towards the ceiling. And take your shoulder blades, so you're feeling the pinch in your shoulder blades. Your elbows coming closer together and come back up into straight cactus arms without the bend. And go for 2 more of those. So next breath in, start to see if you can lean any further back and take your elbows closer together and come back towards center. And go for 1 more. We're going to engage through your abdomen here. Shine your chest up towards the ceiling. Firstly, for pinching your shoulder blades together. And come back up. And bring your hands all the way down to the mat. Nice one, guys. Going to step back with that right foot, straight on the left foot, and the back of the mat. We're all meeting in high plank. Let's walk forwards and back on the toes. On the next foot forwards, we're going to come down to a low plank. We're going to push up to our upward facing dog. Roll the shoulders back to bring your chest forward. Let's push back to a downward facing dog. So one more on the other side. We're going to come and bring the exercises to the floor. So as we do, let's take that left leg towards the back of the room. It's nice and parallel with the floor. And as we breathe in, taking knee to nose, hold it for one breath, and then step your foot all the way through so it sits just inside of your left hand. We're going to come into warrior one. So once we're nice and stable through the legs, again, lift the torso up, take the hands, your hands towards the ceiling. Take one more breath here, take a deep inhale in, and on the exhale, let's come to warrior two. Again, maybe just walk that left foot a bit more towards center so you're nice and stable. Your right arm goes back, your left arm's forward. Let's flip that left palm and take it up and over to reverse warrior. Got a bit more room to stretch over. And let's all meet back in warrior two. And start to come to side angle lunge. Take the left elbow, sit it inside of that left thigh, and open up your body towards the right side of the room. Really open up through the chest. And also come back to warrior two again. So your left arm goes forward, your right arm goes back. Let's bring our hands together as we take the interlace in place just above the buttocks. Shine the heart up towards the ceiling. Lean back here. Again, you've got the bend through that left knee as you start to take your chest forward towards the right diagonal. And see if you've got any more room to lift those hands up a bit further. Let's create a bit more room in the upper back as you come up and over into humble warrior. Breathe 3 more breaths. Nice and strong through your legs. They might be shaking a bit. Your left thigh might be on fire. Just embrace the wobbles. On the next breath in, start to seesaw back up. Get an engage for your lower abs here. As you come back up and take your arms into warrior two. Flip that left palm over as you come back into reverse warrior. And bring your arms back forward to warrior two. Now start to draw the arms up as we take warrior one. So you're maintaining your leg position here. This time just, again, start to drop your arms so they're in right angles. So you're taking cactus arms. On your next breath in, start to shine your chest up towards the ceiling. So you lean back a little bit and pinch your shoulders together. And come back up. Just 2 more of those. Feel nice and strong through the legs. Start to lean back, shine your chest up towards the ceiling. Bring your elbows towards each other. Oops. And come back up. Go for 1 more. You can shine your chest up towards the ceiling. Shine up through your heart. Come back. Let's take warrior 2 arms again. Let's go for 1 more flip. So flip that left arm over to reverse warrior. And come up and over. Cut all the hands down as we come into our high plank. So take a left foot to join your right foot at the back of the mat. Walk forwards and back on the toes. Bring your left foot forwards. Let's come down to a low plank. Push up into an upward facing dog. Roll the shoulders back as you take your chest through. And then push back into our down facing dog. Hope you've created a bit of heat in the body there. Done a lot of chest openers and brought a little focus towards your upper back in particular. And bring some awareness, a bit more awareness now towards the lower back. On the next breath in, let's come up onto your tiptoes. And just jump or step forwards as you all come together towards the front of the mat. And go for a big toe grab. So take your 2 peace fingers, just wrap your 2 fingers around your big toes, just underneath your big toes. Let them meet your thumb. Your feet are hip distance apart here. On next inhale in, you're going to just bend into the knees and just lengthen out through your back. And on the exhale, start to release the head down and use your grip to start pulling yourself towards the floor, creating room in between your shoulder blades. Your shoulder blades are nicely spaced out. Again, really use that grip to pull yourself, use that resistance to find extra room in your back. And then release. Release your fingers. We're now going to take gorilla pose. So this time I'm taking the palms underneath each of the soles of the feet. So if you can't reach the floor, if you can't reach your toes, really bend as much as you need to through your knees. It's not cheating. So really bend through the knees. Remember your feet hips apart. Take your right palm underneath your right sole of the foot. And your left palm underneath your left sole of the foot. And as we did with the previous pose, we're going to just start to really bend through the knees, start to lengthen out through the back. As we come to a halfway lift here, just take our gaze beyond the front of the mat. And on the exhale, see if you can draw your head towards the floor. Using the resistance, just start to lengthen out through your legs as much as they will go. Just go towards your edge. And you should feel a nice stretch also through your hamstring. So it's creating space and lengthen your back. If you're hunched up in the shoulders, just relax your shoulders away. So draw your shoulders away from your ears. So you've got any more room to bend. One more breath. Gently bend from the knees. Release out through that right hand. Release out through that left hand. And I'm going to come into a quick Malasana. It's still August. Is it the last day of August? Oh, that's tomorrow. So Malasana challenge, which no doubt you've all been doing every day, is coming towards an end. So just take your feet so they're beyond hip distance apart and become a bit more center. So if you need to, again, use your towel, just sit underneath your heels. Or use a block. So your feet are pointing out towards 10 and 2 o'clock. Slowly start to bend for your knees and bring your bum all the way down. Sit your elbows inside your knees to help you open up for your hips a bit more. You want to lengthen out for your back so you're not collapsed down, you're not curved over. That's how a lot of us tend to work at the desk. You want to sit nice and tall for your back and bring your hands to prayer. For just 10 breaths. So really focus on maintaining the integrity of your spine here. Keep it nice and straight, you're nice and tall. So if you haven't been doing your Malasana, there's still 2 more days, including today, to get your Malasana on. Is it Garland? Garland pose, I think it's also called. On your next breath in, and start to release. So just rock forward onto your hands. And let's all come into a seated position on our mat. So just come to sit on your bum. Place the soles of your feet onto the mat. And then lengthen out your legs. So your legs are nice and sprayed out in front of yourself. You're sitting at a right angle. Just place your hands behind you. And you probably see me that I'm hunched over. Just discovered that the head it weighs 1/5 of the body. So you don't want to be hunched over the head. So if you're working at your desk, so start to roll back the shoulders and bring your head so it sits above your shoulder blades if you're nicely stacked. But this sort of posture is great for when you're working or if you're walking around, hunching over. That's massive damage to your upper back in particular. So I want to sit nice and tall. From here, I'm going to start to bend forward. Again, maintain the length in your spine. And just see if you can go Maybe use a towel actually. A towel, a rope of some sort, just to wrap around the underside of your soles of your feet. Take a breath to lengthen up, and on the exhale, start to bend from the hips. Just keep your back as nice and straight as you can. As you start to fold forward. If it's there for you to hold onto the backs of your soles, then go for it. But you're really leading from your chest and not of your head. You're not dropping your head down, but you lead with your chest. See if you can maintain that straightness in your spine. Your toes curled in towards your face. That helps to create a bit more room and openness in your hamstrings. And if you're using a towel, just maintain that grip. We're almost done here. And on the next breath, let's all sit up. And then bend up through your right knee. Inhale to lengthen up. Exhale to twist. Let's go for one more. Again, just use the resistance of your elbow against your knee to create a bit more of a twist. And then release. Just take both hands over towards the other side. And just relax out. And lengthen out both legs again. Shake out both legs and just take the other side. So this time I'm going to bend up through that left knee. And just tuck in, hold on to the shin. And this time I'm going to lift that left foot up and over the right thigh. So your right leg is nice and straight. You can bend it, but I'm going to keep mine straight today. And lift up through that right arm. This time using the crook of the right elbow. Just wrap that around your left knee. Take that left hand and just place it behind you, maybe towards the back diagonal. Just use that position just to help to draw up through the body. So again, we're twisting from the lower abs. So inhale to draw up, exhale to twist. Inhale to draw up, exhale to twist. See, I'm just holding onto my shorts as well, just to create a bit more resistance. And finally, I'm going a little bit further over. Let's go for one more. Inhale, exhale to twist. And just take both hands over towards the other side. Let's take a slight bend through the elbows to release out. Shake out through the legs. So sitting nice and tall. Start to lean back ever so slightly. Take the soles of the feet to the mat, so your knees are pointing up towards the ceiling. Take a hold onto the knees. We'll bend and angle back slightly. Start to lift your feet up as we take our shins to parallel and we come to boat pose. Good old boat. So again, just engage through your abs. Once you feel nice and stable, maybe release the knees. Take your hands either side of your shins. For this, if you're drawing your shoulders back, you're sitting up nice and tall. If it's there for you, can lengthen out through the legs, or you can keep your legs bent through the knees. On the next breath, let's take it to a low boat. So balancing on your bum here. Your feet, your legs are nice and straight. Your shoulders off the mat. It's inhale to come up to a high boat. Exhale to low boat. Inhale, use the abs to come back up to a high boat. Exhale, low. And just start to swim out through the feet for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's come back into a high boat. Let's take the hands underneath the hamstrings and let's start to just massage out through the back. So release yourself to the mat. Just give yourself a massage on your back. Try not to land on your feet. Try and keep your feet hovering off the mat. Just rock forwards and back. Just forwards and back. Just massage out your back. And see if you can feel any pinch points in particular. I feel this massively in my upper back, which is really tight. Just keep rocking forwards and back. Go for one more. On your next rock forwards, we're going to come back again into high boat. So you can bend through the knees or lengthen out the legs. And take the hands, so you can take them up towards the ceiling without falling down. We're holding it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take the low boat and relax. Almost finished up, almost done. I'm going to take a supine twist just to finish up here. So bend up through your right knee, maybe start to shuffle forward. Shuffle yourselves forward so you're on the right side of your mat. So again, shuffle yourselves forward to the side, so you're on the right side of your mat. Bend up through your right knee. Just take your grip around your right knee, just pull your knee towards your head. Then release your head back down. Release the right grip and using your left hand, just start to bring that right knee up and over the body towards the left side of the room. And maybe your knee doesn't go towards the mat. Just take it towards its edge, but using the left hand, just place your left hand on the outside of your right knee. If you've got your right hand, just wave it in the sky, so I can pretend I can see it, and then just take your right hand over towards the right side of the room. And take your gaze over towards your right hand. You might feel click and pop, particularly in your lower back here. It's a really good stretch to do maybe in the morning as well, after you've done some cat and cows. On the next breath in, let's start to lift that right knee up towards the ceiling. Spread it out. Both legs now nice and straight in front of the mat. And we're going to finish up by taking the other side. So this time, shift over towards the left-hand side of your mat. This time, bend up through the left knee. Take your interlace around your left knee. Take your head to your knee. Release the head down. Release your left grip, and using your right hand, start to take that left knee up and over your body towards the right side of the room. Again, just take it towards your edge. If it goes towards the mat, all good. If it doesn't, it's all good as well. Just go to your edge and just sit your right hand on the outside of your left knee. Again, wave your left hand in the sky so I can pretend I can see it, and just take your left hand over towards the left side of the room, Take your gaze over towards your left hand. So really breathing some twist here. And let's release out. Start to lift that left knee up towards the ceiling. Let's take both knees in towards the chest on one final squeeze. And then release out. So coming into Shavasana. Both legs are pointing forward. Your hands are either side of your body. Just close your eyes here. Just create a bit of length in your neck by tucking your chin slightly. And relax your head back down towards the mat. Just release your Ujjayi breath and come back into your natural breath. Again, here for a couple minutes and just come to stillness. Take a deep inhale in together. Feel your lungs, feel your ribs, and release out through the mouth. Shavasana. Find some movement in your hands and your feet. Swap your head from left to right. Massage at the back of your skull. And next inhale in, start to draw your knees out towards your chest. Take a nice squeeze. Just massage over your lower back, going clockwise and then anti-clockwise. And drop your knees over to one side. Start to push up. And just find yourself into a seated position. Just keep your eyes closed. You come to a seated position or come up onto your knees. Just bring your hands to your chest in prayer. Just close your eyes and just take the next couple of seconds to appreciate the stillness, or if you've got quietness, even for a second, just embrace that. With kids around you, then embrace the noise that's to come. Thank yourselves for turning up on the mat. Thanks for supporting one another as we flowed for the past 60 minutes. Let's take your hands to the third eye, pray to the third eye, and look forward to the week ahead. Thank you. Finish. Over again. I hope that was all right. I definitely needed that. My back has been absolutely dodgy this week, as some of you will know. What's the time? Yeah, I'm over. Sorry about that. Hope everyone found that all right, found it decent. I tried to pick up the flow a little bit at the beginning. I'm not so good in my breath because I'm chatting a lot, but I hope that you guys were breathing and using your breath to flow through that. We did a lot of opening up through your front body, which also had a direct impact onto your backs. Really focus on your postures, keeping your head above and stacked above your body. If you're hunched over like that, you get a dodgy back, it's not the one. But yeah, that's another session done. Any comments, do let me know. Any suggestions for the class next week, again, drop it in the comments or hit me up on Instagram. Give us a subscribe on this channel. Hit like if you thought the class was decent, that'd be appreciated. And have a great week. I'm going to jump in the comments. Hello to everyone who's participated. Morning all the way to New York. Hope you're all good, Robbie, B and D man, Queen P. But yeah, look, have a great week. I'm going to stop gassing. Eat well, drink loads of water. I didn't take too many water breaks. But yeah, take care, guys.
Scream and shout the last one time, but it's not over. I know the mysteries make a wish and kiss it over. I played the game and felt the pain, but I am stronger now. Like the sun breaks through, I feel warm rain running down my face. I embrace all the love that lies around me.